Hey guys, this is Jess from Curse, and I'm sitting here with some Sony Online Entertainment folks. We've got Dave and Linda here who are going to talk about the future of online gaming as well as the importance of community and gaming and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, what do you want to start with?
Linda?
So Dave, what about EQ Next?
Yeah. Oh yeah, thanks.
That's what I want to start with.
Let's get
All right.
that on the table early.
So let's talk about the elephant, right? So EQ Next, obviously we're going to do a lot of stuff with it. We're going to tear down the whole MMO model and rebuild it from scratch, which is what we're in process of doing. But unfortunately, it's really still in a black box right now. And the reason why we're in a black box is some of the ideas are not rocket science. They just haven't seen them in that shape before. It's like kind of like the original Everquest, where a lot of the components of the game were already out there. It's just nobody had ever put it together in that form before. That's what we're doing with EQ Next in a lot of ways. There's some rocket science involved, but we want a nice lead on people before we start talking about it, and that's why we're going to reveal it at our fan function, our annual fan function called SOE Live on August 1st.
So the cool thing about EQ Next is the fact that it is going to be completely different. I think that the marketplace and the player communities have had enough of the kill 10 rats, gain a level type thing. So this is going to be a really cool evolution of the genre. I'm not even sure if we can even call it an MMO anymore because it's going to be so different. You have to invent a new name for the genre that we're developing.
Oh, I've always liked virtual world.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
we want, this is an alternate life for a lot of people. You get involved in it. I mean, you don't have to participate in it 24/7 or anything like that. You just participate at your whatever you want to do, but you get to know the world, you get to know the people, you get to, you feel part of it, and we're doing a lot to try to make people more and more a part of it. We're opening it up with Player Studios so that they can actually be building things and selling them to other players, and that's really going to go a long way. We're going to keep opening up more and more of the games because we really want to focus in on the professional content that we can deliver and make that really great, and then allow the players to make their own marks and get their own fame and fortune from participating in the game and being well known for having created something cool.
Collaboration in these worlds is so important because we've seen over the years that people actually develop fully functioning societies within our MMOs. So this is a chance for them to really go out there. We've made the first steps with Player Studio, with Dungeon Maker, which one of my favorite features, and just allowing players to collaborate with us on the development of these projects is one of the most exciting aspects for me.
Yeah, I've noticed SOE is always really great at really listening to the community and actually, taking into account the feedback that they give, which I think is fantastic. So is that something you're going to, continually support EQ Next, I assume, and continue to really listen to the fans?
Yeah, I mean, one of the cool things about working at SOE, and one of the main reasons I'm working here, is we have a bunch of different MMOs, and that lets us. It's like this gigantic laboratory where we're like thinking about this kind of game all the time. We have so many different kinds of games with PlanetSide and DCUO and the EQs and all this other stuff. They're all wildly different games, and we're getting all kinds of different meaning out of what we do. We try something here, we try something there. It's better suited over here, and very quickly we're becoming the experts at the free-to-play model. We're becoming the experts. We're arguably already the experts on MMOs, and we're hopefully funneling all that forward to this product, EQ Next.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have just had some really revolutionary ideas and almost inventing new genres. PlanetSide 2, now granted I didn't play the first PlanetSide, but PlanetSide 2 being an MMO FPS was a really unique concept, I thought. It really kind of challenged some of the ways I think about MMOs. So will EQ Next do the same thing?
Well, I made the first PlanetSide. So sandboxes are a really fun thing for me. I really, really enjoy. I shouldn't say I made it. The team made it, but I was involved.
No, you by yourself, single-handedly doing all the coding.
Sat in a basement, manacled to a desk.
No. I had a very creative team, and I was very proud of that game. I wanted to keep making it forever. It was a really cool game. But there's a lot of sandbox stuff that we've learned from that and other games that we've done, and we're applying a lot of that knowledge to what we're doing with EQ Next because we really, really want players to be a big part of it. And I'm starting to get into detail, so I need to back off a little bit.
Oh, we can keep going. Maybe get you a drink or something.
Exactly.
So now, will EQ Next be free to play?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do at SOE. We're free to play.
Oh, that's right.
There are a lot of advantages to free-to-play. It removes any barrier to entry. And what was it? What was the term that we came up with for games that you have to Pay and pray?
Pay and pray, yeah.
We don't want to do that anymore. We want to make it really easy for you to try the game. And I've found this myself in playing our own games and games made by other companies, is that the more you enjoy a game, the more likely you are to spend money. So it's the most democratic process ever for game development, and it's worked extremely well for us. There is zero downside to free-to-play, not for any of our products. So yeah, definitely need to go further down that path.
We joke all the time about being street performers. We sing and dance, and if you really like it, you throw coins.
Yeah, give them a tip or something. Yeah, I've noticed the free-to-play model, some people have criticized it as saying it's pay to win, but I found that it seems that if for games like League of Legends and Dota 2, it's just incredibly successful.
We want to be the good guys on this. I mean, there's obviously bad ways to do free-to-play. I don't want to brand things, so I'll be casual with the references, but there are definitely games out there where you can pay to win, and there are definitely games that have their hands out way too much, like it's annoying when you're playing the game. And what we want to do is we want to put it in there so that essentially most of the game is wide open, so that you can get in and you can find out about the game and decide whether or not you like it before you start to see these opportunities to leave cash behind if you want to. Because I mean, that's really what these games are about. You need an attachment to the world. If we start asking you for money before you're attached to the world, that's just going to put you off. That's not really what we want. So our approach has been very what I call white hat to the whole thing. And we want to make sure that players are very, very happy. Because if they ain't happy, we ain't making money. That's just the way it is.
Part of that as well in the free-to-play market is some people say, well, aren't you concerned about the people who never pay you a cent? No, because they actually make the world better. They actually become part of the living content that we have in these worlds. And we have a lot more players than we used to before we went free-to-play just because of that. And as a player myself, I appreciate the opportunity to choose where I spend my money. I'm not being forced to spend it on a subscription. I can buy a membership, I can buy a cool mount, I can buy this or that, or nothing. Love it, yeah.
We're getting better at it. I mean, it's improving all the time. When we first started out, we had very restrictive membership matrices, and we did that because we weren't really sure if we were going to lose our shirts. So we had this stuff in to kind of encourage people to upgrade and stuff like that, but we found over time that that's not really the best solution. So recently we just relaxed all our membership matrices so you can play all classes and all races and stuff like that, and it has already been more successful. I mean, it's just, when we went free to play, we doubled our players, which is great. And then when we relaxed the matrix, we increased that some more. So we are continuously finding ways to improve that model and make it less onerous for the players, because that's not really what we're about. We really want people to just play the game.
Let's be realistic. We are a business. We absolutely have to have a bottom line so that Dave can have a paycheck and I can feed my dogs and that sort of thing.
I'm working for love.
He's not. There is a certain amount of passion involved. But so if you read between the lines of what Dave says, not only is this good for the players, but it's improving our revenue base too. So clearly, we're doing stuff that people want, and we want to keep doing that. And that requires a lot of analysis, and a lot of that is from community feedback that we get from forums, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, fan sites, media sites, you name it, and also the internal data that we can pull from the servers to find out how people are spending their time, what they're buying, when they're buying it, what they want. I mean, it's a very organic model. I'm very pleased with it.
Yeah, and I heard you say earlier that it sounds like EQ Next will be less grindy than other MMOs. Maybe not.
No, that wasn't what the eye roll was. That was me going, oh my God, what can I talk about?
Thinking here, being very careful about what Dave
policing what secrets you let out.
Well, all right. Our focus is fun. So, is grinding fun?
It is. Okay, that's the weird thing. Grinding is fun for some people.
I was just about to say it depends on really who you ask, right, and what they're getting out of the grinding.
So what
there is no average player. Everybody has a different play style. Some people like the purely social stuff. They'll stand in a guild hall, they will trade skill, they'll play the markets, and they're the social glue that keeps people playing together. Other people are high-end achievers and they want to beat every raid boss the fastest possible. So you continue that thought.
Yeah, it really boils down to the fact that MMOs there is no demographic for an MMO. It's everybody. We have like people from all over. So that means we have a lot of different buckets of players. When I say buckets of players, I mean people that want different things out of the games. They want to socialize, or they want to be creative, or they want to kill stuff and get loot, or they want to explore. I mean, there's a lot of different variations. And so when we're building a new MMO, one of the things we need to do is making sure that those people can really win in the things that they like to do. And by win, I mean brag. Because that's why we all play games. So if you're going to be creative, you want to be well known for being creative. If you're a best house decorator or the best crafter, or if you explore, you want to be known as the guy that's always pushing frontiers. You want to somehow become famous for that. And we need to make sure that those kinds of mechanisms enter all our games, and that makes people want to play more, and then they stick around longer to make friends, and once they make friends, it's a home.
And it's all about collaborative content as well. Player Studio is the best example of that, and I'm absolutely astonished by the quality of items that's coming through there. And that's something that players can do to add to the content of these games and make money on it. You know, I'm not quite ready to quit my day job, but it's pretty tempting.
Just get paid to play games all day.
The future is this kind of UGC. The future is a wide open game that can be participated in from anywhere. And we're rapidly getting there. And Player Studio is our first foray into that, where we can, right now they're creating assets. Soon they'll be able to decorate houses and sell them to each other. It's inevitable that we'll get to the point where they're actually creating content and gating it so that other people can pay to play it. And then they're getting their cut and stuff. What?
That it's only a matter of time before they start creating content. Did you just say that on national TV? Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I personally think it's inevitable because we create professional content that is honed by expert designers and expert artists and all that other stuff. So we're going to create really high quality stuff. But I'm not an idiot. I know that there's way more talented people out there, well, at least as talented people out there that can create stuff on their own, especially if they can start working together in co-op groups like mod teams used to do, or still do. And so if we can encourage that sort of behavior, well, that's awesome. So we'll eventually, that's an inevitable future in my opinion.
Yeah, I know when players really like a game, it seems like a lot of times they like to be able to really get their hands in and create their own, craft things or create their own levels, design their own levels, things like that.
They really want to be part of the world. They want to be a part of that society. They want to leave their mark. And we'd like to offer them those opportunities.
They get to be like a game designer as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of them are great, but you know what? I found over the years, like for instance, when I was doing Tribes 2, there was this guy that made fantastic maps down in Australia. Like, honestly, they were better than the ones we were making on the dev team. But the guy was a full-time programmer, and he wasn't going to come work for us making maps. But it didn't mean his maps weren't incredible. So there's a lot of people out there that have full-time commitments or a place that they want to live, and they can't work with us, but they still want to participate. They still want to make their mark. They want to be famous for what they do. And that's the people that are going to really respond to this.
Well, did either of you have any other topics you wanted to touch on that I didn't mention?
I will mention that if you really want to find out about SOE Live, about SOE, or EQ Next, sorry, it's been a long day, but EQ Next, we're going to talk about it a lot at SOE Live. This guy here is going to reveal all sorts of information about the game, and because that's the number one question we've had all year, that's where you want to be. That's August 1st, Las Vegas. We're going to have registration up soon.
Yeah, it's not the same old MMO. No. It's significantly different.
It's significantly awesomer, yes.
It's a good little teaser for it. Great, well, thank you guys so much. Once again, I'm Jess from Curse here with SOE, and we're here at the PAX East 2013. This coverage has been brought to you by Alienware. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the game.